It's time now for a Commitment 2010 election report. 3 seats are up for grabs at the Honolulu City Council, including Donovan Dela Cruz's vacant seat for District 2. It's a big district which runs from Kahalu'u to the North Shore to Mililani-Mauka. And this morning we are talking to the 2 candidates for that seat, John White and Ernie Martin. And joining us now is John White, who worked as a legislative aide to Councilman Duke Bainum and was the chief of staff for Congresswoman Mazie Hirono. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me here.
As I mentioned, this is a pretty big district, and there's so many different issues, from country issues to urban issues. What's the #1 issue for you?
Well, there are actually 2 issues. I think the top issue is really we're in an economy right now that we need to move forward. And one of the ways we can do that is by diversifying the economy. And I believe clean energy is one way that we can do that. I've talked a lot in my campaign about the city investing in clean energy, both in its use and its supporting other companies who do that. And more importantly, we also need to focus on being fiscally responsible, living within our means, not spending more than we have the capability of spending, and really cutting wasteful spending.
If you were elected to the City Council, what bill would you propose to help make the city better?
You know, I don't know if there's a particular bill as much as a kind of a group, a movement, let's say, for clean energy in particular. I would focus really hard on making sure the city does what we need to do to make clean energy more viable in Honolulu. That's changing out the 45,000 LED lights that we have, street lights that need to be really a more energy efficient LED light. That's supporting businesses who want to come here to create opportunities for clean energy, giving them property tax incentive breaks, and really just doing it by example.
Now, a lot of people are still getting to know the City Council candidates, so what makes you qualified for this job?
Well, you know, I've worked for a city council member before, Duke Bainum, who is a mentor of mine and taught me a lot about what it takes to be a city council member. You know, the issues are both great and small. You're dealing with large-scale projects like rail transit. You're dealing with, a $3 billion budget. But you're also dealing with potholes, and you're dealing with sidewalk cracks, and it's really that balance of being in your community and understanding the day-to-day challenges that your constituents face, but also keeping your eye on the long-term vision of our city.
What's the big difference between you and your opponent, Ernie Martin?
You know, I think we have a different philosophy on the role of government. Ernie has worked in the city for 23 years, and I've worked both for government, but I've also worked in the private sector as well. And I think one of the things I've learned is that government's role is really to help people do the things that they need to do, but we can't do it all. And it really starts by being fiscally responsible. We can't continue to throw money at problems. We have to be creative and efficient, and we have to create the conditions that allow people to be the people that they want to be.
Yes or no, do you support the rail transit project?
I do support rail transit, but it will not be built if it's not done on time and on budget. So the City Council really needs to be vigilant about ensuring that the contracts that are let out by the administration are done so in an appropriate manner.
And last question, Don, where do you stand on Andy Anderson's proposed project to build a boutique hotel in the Haleiwa area? Well,
you know, the hotel concept itself is something that I think is a good idea. It's supported in the Sustainable Communities Plan, and I think it's a nice anchor for Haleiwa Town as it, wants to, maintain its character. There used to be a hotel there. The challenge is the land that Andy needs to acquire was acquired by the city years ago and was meant to be used as a park. And I think we all want that place to be developed as a park. So I think, that decision is going to have to incorporate some element of that adjacent property becoming a park, I think.
All right. Well, City Council candidate John White, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck for the next couple of weeks.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And if you'd like to see this interview again, along with any of our other segments on our morning news, you can go to KITV.com/thismorning. Coming up a little later in our newscast, a live interview with Ernie Martin.